Good plan.
What's up, chat gang? I'm the Magical Mr. Mephisto, and you're watching the best damn Soulbound show ever, the actual play of Soulbound, where some of your favorite content creators from across the community of Age of Sigmar play a role-playing game. I'm joined tonight by the one-of-a-kind Vincent Venturella and the irreplaceable Heywoah. How's it going, man?
Irascible.
Yo.
I was gonna go with immenable, but like I couldn't do that one either. I get mushy mouth normally, and we just talked philosophy for like 2 solid hours waiting for the rest of the party. So
Don't tell them they just missed a great 2-hour stream. Solid
Oh,
gold
you just
content.
admitted.
Chat, I hope you know, chat, you missed 2 hours of solid gold, big brain, intellectual discussion between your favorite content creators.
this is where go ahead. No, however. I don't want to do paywalls with the Patreon and the stuff like that. By the way, buy a shirt. I don't want to do like paywalls and capitalism.
Not a paywall, it's a pay ladder that they may ascend if they earn it.
But the one thing I could sort of amend or like cave in on is our pre-stream, like our pre-RPG chats, where like I just
click
record
the
those.
record button and then say we're not recording yet.
Yeah, we're not recording yet. Hit record button.
And then hit the record button before you say that.
Yeah, and lie to you completely. And then I sell that to people on Patreon at like a if you're at this tier sub, you get to hear us before we talk about the game. Cuz like there's just things that like I can't violate the trust of the party, because when you're a GM, I think GMs deal in trust. I think that's our greatest currency. And you deal in trust in such a way to where you undermine it when it matters for your story. Like you're just building it up constantly. And if I'm just like always selling the party conversation prior to going live, then like I have no negotiable position in the game to violate your trust, because I'm just like I'm out the gates selling it piecemeal.
Try to sell it plate mail.
Oh yeah, instead of piecemeal. A ladder of tithe-like tribute, says Caleb Kane. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you.
I would have said give it out for free, but for whatever reason this week suddenly I care about stocks, and so I'm a shark about everything, I guess.
Absolutely. It's the week to care.
Are those fists diamonds yet, or what?
These mitts are solid diamonds. Diamond hands. Hold, baby.
I'm reminded of the 80s classic.
This is not to make money. This is not to make money. This is spite holding. It's, what is it the Joker said in that one bad movie I didn't like except for the Joker in it? This isn't about the money, it's about sending a message. This is about posturing.
Yeah, this will not be evergreen, or it will be. Historically speaking, people will look back on this time and realize that this was where maybe we got some form of like change.
This is where Monday I reach up to the heavens and an arm, a gigantic female arm, reaches down, right? And we David, I grab the chicken tendy from the sky, dip it in my flute of champagne.
The tendy man, yeah.
Solid bite.
The tendy lass, yeah. See, this is why hasn't this Ratcast happened yet?
Yeah,
where it's just Vince and Heywoah. Why haven't I done this yet?
Why haven't people like barbecue? Some people like ranch dressing. The best dip for your chicken tendies is champagne in a flute.
Checks out.
All right, so Kicker dropping the tier 1 sub.
It's only by the way, it's only a tendy if it's from the Tendy region of France. Otherwise, it's just
right. Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just white chicken deep fried. Yeah, no, that's right. So I have a quick question related to hobbying. Oh, no, this isn't the hobby stream. I'm sorry. Maybe someone can answer you in chat.
He did. Yeah, he's got him. They answered him already. Yeah, it's a solid deal.
Chat gang already on top of it. Look at that. Chat gang, you're already the show within a show. Thank you so much. So we're going to do a little bit of a shorter session tonight. As you see, we have an incomplete party, but we cannot deprive you of the drama much longer. So I'm going to do a party recap, and then I'll fill in the gaps. What do you remember from November, 3 months ago?
We're moving our way across the Reaver Wastes, and we have encountered the Endless Battle, this sort of set of images and ghosts that we encountered that had seemed to be... Oh, also, Linus is gone, but that's a whole separate thing. And we... basically, there's these sort of ephemeral battles that keep happening. It's not as though the people aren't real. It's more like we're entering into the thing when it's not live. It's like it's like in A Christmas Carol. You're back in the past. It's all real people. It's not ghosts, but you're not. It's not happening in live. You're not in sync with it. And yeah, I think that's. And then had a little bit of a weird non-fight, and then it went away, and then we kept going.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you decided, like, despite this weird, like, sort of thing that might spook lesser parties, that of this, like, sort of just colossal battle, you kind of actually interacted with it and tried to do stuff, and you kind of gleaned this information. Laanissa is missing. Apparently her kind communicates in arrows. She got the arrow that says she should disappear right now. Bigwinter, anything to add? Anything to...
Let's see. I recall that we learned it was an illusion yet? Yeah. There were arrows, weren't there?
Not quite an illusion. Not quite an illusion. There was some real harm that caused. I think Fyrgrim actually got hit or something, where you saw that there was an effect, but it wasn't like a 1-to-1 or it was there. You understand that this isn't. It's not safe. Like it is apparent that there is a harm to this situation.
Sure. There is some kind of peril, just as usual. We don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you did stop an invasion to Anvilgard. It's clearly safe forever now.
Yeah, I'm glad we fixed that place up forever.
Yeah, it's good. It's all fine.
All right. So Fyrgrim is with you. You continue to sort of plunge through the desert. This is where we're doing a shorter session, so I'm gonna go a little bit more narrative. You have another night, another battle. Does the party interact with it this time, or do you kind of sit back?
Yeah, I mean, now that we know it's not real, then I would say, personally, Skig would say, let's sit back. There's no reason to get engaged with ghosts that you can't actually kill or eat, which is disappointing to all members of this party.
Very.
And instead, the more interesting thing would be to study it to make sure we understand kind of the nature of it. Is it the same battle? Is it is it part of the same battle? Is it a different battle? Who are the people who are involved? Just trying to understand the nature of what's going on. Yeah.
Perfect. I'm not going to make you roll for this on this first one. It's obvious that it is not the same battle you saw previously. It's a different conflict along as you've descended sort of southward through the desert. It is an utterly different conflict. There's different actors and players and so on and so forth. That becomes obvious immediately. It plays out. There's an onslaught, and then as the sort of as daylight sort of breaks, the battle breaks and the ghosts sort of recede as the shadows peel away from the earth.
Cool.
On the third night, you all find yourself. Are you taking watches? Are you?
Yeah, sure. It clearly seems like there's hostile intent around.
Okay.
Yeah, this makes watches fun. You get to watch a movie, or you get to watch a battle.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with. I just assumed that Bigwinter is sort of on watch this evening.
What type of terrain are we traveling across?
It's a desert.
Like a dry, cracked desert.
Yeah. These are. Go ahead.
technically, a tundra is a form of desert.
It's true. No, this is not wrong.
Although on their list of biomes, they have desert and tundra separate, so no hunter bonuses here. We can be surprised.
You should have gamed the system and went with desert, and then tundra would have
And
been.
done that argument. Now I went tundra because it's just so clearly like what I should be. It'd stick out like a sore thumb if the beast claw hunter didn't choose tundra.
Yeah, that's fine. I continue to be not able to be surprised, so it's fine.
All right. I want you to. You're sleeping, but incapable of being surprised. I still want an awareness mind roll from Bigwinter. Yes, Bigwinter does have a pet squig. And Fyrgrim had a flashback last episode.
Yep.
If you're watching in real time, hey, wasn't that a good flashback?
What's my target?
DN 4-2.
4-2.
On the spot. You'll notice that there's a scouting party with this sort of band. This battle scenario. You're sitting there around the expected hour or time frame. You're just like, yep, okay. Like you close a pocket watch and eat it, and like you survey, and look around. But something's off a little bit this time. The brush, like sort of like scrub style brush. There's not like, gigantic anything like that. Just little dried up plants and stuff like that begins to crack and crackle. And something catches your eye, and busting through, you see these sort of almost primal human sorts wearing skins and hides. They actually look at you. This is different from the previous. Yeah, go ahead. Oh, you wave at them. One brandishes an axe, the other like holds a javelin aloft, and you got like one knocking an arrow and a bow.
Are these like across the way, or is
Yeah,
this pretty...
they broke through the brush. It's sort of at the peripheral, like sort of the extent of your vision, because you've been, keeping watch. They seem to notice you immediately.
And there's no other battlefield stuff. It's just these.
You still feel that familiar sort of unease or chaos in the air from before. It's become, as every sort of night you've journeyed deeper into these wastes, you feel it thickening, and it's that paranoia, that anxiety is still holding you. It's like a coat at this point. You're wearing it regardless.
Well, after a quick check to make sure I'm not doing the classic doesn't notice the army behind him gag.
Yeah. I would say I'll give you another awareness. DN 4-2. Mind.
Mm-hmm.
You can actually see the armies beginning to coalesce. They're not like just like marching up. It's sort of like they're sort of like materializing and marching in, and like as they get into the sort of visual spectrum, they begin to like become more concrete images and then march. But it's in the motion of doing that. It's in the action of doing that. Nothing is firmly or concrete yet. There's no charge. They're not the lined ranks up ready for somebody to twitch or sound the alarm. Like they're just...
Our camp isn't in the middle of them, right?
Yes. Ever in the middle.
All right. How do the other group, how does that third group react to seeing the ghosts?
They don't. You seem to acknowledge that you're at sort of this like coming together, this sort of like epoch moment, but it's not quite like come together yet, and it's just disjointed, and like You'll see
Oh,
even
that
see
okay.
you'll
I
even
caught it
see like a
early.
little body. You'll even see like a little body like ahead of the rest, and then it'll like sort of shunt back, and it's all trying to like sort of materialize. And you have this group of individuals. I mean, they're even like you can see through them. They're ethereal.
Oh, okay. All right. I thought they were real, but they look at us for the first time, and nothing else has yet, and so that's the thing. I don't know if this is exactly wake up Skig moment yet. I'll see what they do.
The one with the axe sort of like just looks absolutely puzzled by you. The spear holder sort of like takes a cautious step and then a cautious lunge a little deeper and like holds the spear steady on you, and the one with the arrow peerless remains, doesn't move, unflinching.
All right, so they're advancing, but slowly. Yeah, I guess this is wake up Skig time. Hey, these ghosts are different.
What? Why?
Oh, they're noticing us instead of just playing through the motions.
Okay.
Squig will note the three individuals and see that they like Squig stirs and the axe individual like sort of keeps absolutely fixed on Bigwinter, but the spear like sort of like quick swings over.
How far away is it from us? How far away?
Same zone. Same zone. Like
Okay, so they're right up close to us.
feet. You know, like a quick charge away.
Did you try talking to him yet?
No.
All right. Well, let's
I
try
waved
that.
at them and they waved back, but now they're acting all aggressive. I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know either. Ahem. Hello, spirits of a forgotten time. You are dead. Please don't bother us.
They sort of like stumble and jerk back as they see you address them.
It has been many centuries since you died, and were not heroic enough to be raised as Stormcast, or maybe you died before Stormcast existed. It's one of the two. Either way, you're dead and now doomed to fight this battle endlessly. We don't care to be involved. Please go back your separate way.
They like look at each other and look at you. They seem to understand you, but they don't comprehend, as it were.
You are dead. We are alive. Look at your hand.
The axe man, like, finally sort of taking his gaze off of Bigwinter. Is that a threat?
No, it's a statement of fact.
He's just like menacing you, you know.
I'm just saying you're not actually alive. That's just the way it is.
This one japes, he says, looking back at the spearman, the spearwoman.
That's me, full of japes. What's a jape?
Jape's like a joke, only pronounced wrong.
Oh, why would they just not say jokes?
Because they're like 100 years old and dead.
Oh, maybe they had a different word for jokes. Okay. No, look, I'm not joking. Anyway, who are you anyway?
Thrawn.
Okay, Thrawn. Nice to meet you. Who's your buddies? Is that Axe guy talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
Malia points to the spearwoman and unsure. Assigned.
Great. Well, good to meet all three of you. So, what are you out here on the wastes for?
The enemy gathers
Who's the enemy?
And he just like looks, and it's clear to you that you're like watching a screen sort of skipping in like 35mm film behind you, but they don't seem to register that right now.
Sure.
Like they're out of sync with that even.
Well, who's the enemy? Like, who's your enemy?
He ponders a moment. Invaders.
Detailed. That's what I like. Are they like humans or
Many of them.
evil humans, chaos humans?
Many humans.
All right.
Like
Let's go this way. What kind of god do you worship? Let's just get straight to the heart of the matter here. Who you
I
praying to?
worship no god. Gods worship me. They give me gifts.
Uh-huh. Well, that's nice. So, great. Well, we're not invaders. We're just travelers passing through. So, I guess you're good. We're not your enemy. I'd keep scouting.
Yep.
There could be invaders over that hill over there. You better...
Yeah, no invaders here.
Yep. Invaderless.
Amazing.
Well, good night.
I
Like move to sit down in total like showing of peacefulness and everything.
feel like you need to guile mind them here, Skig.
Sure. I can do that.
It's gonna be a DN 3, and it's gonna be opposed.
Oh, well, I can't get 3 successes with a guile mind, so that's fine. I got 1 success.
He seems to regard you carefully.
You might want, by the way, you might want to go ahead and shoot a quick thing at Tom.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if he has the Discord info because he said he's ready. But anyway,
I
I don't want to interrupt your flow. I'm sorry.
No, Heywoah can pull him if need be, and I'll have Heywoah do this. Thrawn sort of regards you. You do not look like an invader.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
They like do this like weird sort of like creep around and then just through the brush, and they're gone.
Okay. Well, interesting. I wonder if the more farther we go, more ghosts find us.
Or the realer the ghosts get.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, we have to go all the way through.
Mm.
Maybe eventually the ghosts will become real enough to eat.
It's something to look forward to.
I don't.
You eat all the time, says Myriad.
Yeah. Some better than others. I can't imagine a ghost is very filling.
Curious. By the way, Myriad has been in the full lotus position this whole time. Like, Myriad does not sleep.
See, this guy gets it. He knows when he's dead. He's fine with it. What's the matter with them? You're doing great. You've never been better, Myriad. You're looking healthy, by the way.
Myriad looks down and around the tattered robes that they wear and seems to agree with you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's nothing worse than dead people that don't know they're dead. It's unfortunate. Well, if we find more of them, we should just put them on their way. No reason to get involved with a battle that happened 1,000 years ago. That's a waste of time.
Yeah, seemed to work out.
Mm-hmm.
Does this not mean more peril? Asks Myriad.
I mean, maybe. But they're just ghosts.
Where we come from, ghosts inflict much pain.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that that happens. But, here's the trick, right? Okay. So, let me break it down for you this way, Myriad. Another being, right, may or may not be scary, but it's usually not. Most singular individual beings, like an orc or an human, right? Okay? And a human or a orc or whatever, they're made up of two things: a body and a soul. And the body's usually the one that's punching you. So if they got rid of half of the problem, they're clearly half as dangerous. That's just math, Myriad. It's really easy.
We doth disagree.
Well, see, that's why you've got a body. Like, you've got some kind of special made body, right? Because your bones don't look like bones, I guess. They used to be inside meat.
Our
See?
power.
That was them compensating for the math.
So we are better math?
Correct.
Like Marianne leans back and the super sculpted chin strokes it. Seems to think. You like the previous nights, the sort of conflict escalates, hits a fever pitch, ends around you. It is on this night. It's obvious that the soldiers on the front line where they're clashing, and they happen to clash around you and beside you. You just happen to be in sort of one of the dead zones of charges happen, they diagonal off and sort of thing. It's the first time you see a soldier look over and come over toward your party and then get stabbed in the back and fall down and dematerialize type thing. It's the actual battlefield begins to acknowledge you this night.
More of the battlefield is acknowledging us, Switch said?
Yeah, it's becoming very it's becoming very obvious that you are no longer undetected, and you can even see ranked soldiers up on their mounts classically, right? Sort of back commanding, and they're gesturing in your direction, and they look back at some other sort of command forces, and there's even been some arrows that sort of are launched in your direction from one force, and
Okay. Well, I mean, does it seem like, hey, yay, welcome. Does it seem like there is some particular direction we can go to get rid of the nature of being in the middle of these ongoing battles, or are the battles just following us? A couple arrows landed, the next day rise up, all the spirits go away. They're starting to notice us, right?
I would say theology mind.
Okay.
And
right. By the way, if you want to throw some lore or something at this, Fyrgrim, feel free.
Yeah, welcome.
Thank you. I am pulling up. I groggily wake up from whatever's happening.
Yeah, I assume this is the next morning. We were able to get through that night without event, right?
Yeah.
You said, is it religion, or what am I looking for?
I made 2 successes on a theology mind, but I don't know if he'll allow you to do lore or anything else. So I don't know what skills are available.
As I recall, Fyrgrim tried to sort of figure out if there was a specific battle the last sort of time you started the adventure, and
yep.
you had a couple you had an inclination that this was probably from when basically when the Age of Chaos shifted over to the Age of Sigmar, from that you had an inclination from some of the iconography on the soldiers stuff, you had an understanding. You also saw some chaos symbols, which was super important. So I want to reiterate that now. But pinpointing a time period was, apart from this is old, was
Difficult.
Yeah, difficult, and a specific battle just. But now you've traveled sort of 3 days, 4 days into the desert, and the conflicts have gotten more violent, and now they've started to notice you. So roll the ghosts. Even you had like literal ghosts in like a sort of incorporeal partial form, looking at the party and interacting with the party. And so you're rolling a lore to sort of see if you read a book one time about something like this.
Cool. What target number?
Standard 4 check or
Yeah.
2 successes.
You're familiar with like sort of like hauntings, but they tend to be focused on like some sort of like object or ritual.
Okay.
This seems odd in that it is certainly following the party, because like you have kind of collaborating with Skig's sort of theology. You know that you haven't been like walking in a straight line to always be on the prime meridian of conflict. It seems to have shifted and followed you to where you're always at this sort of like this pivotal moment. But you're always at a different. The conflict itself changes, like it's different charges from the same battle, and the forces are from probably different areas. They're just following you, which means that there's got to be like they're either focused on you as like a sort of like a focal point in some way, or there's some will
or
that's
we're carrying something. Yes,
carrying
or like
something.
Focusing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is getting weird.
It's possible it is in the sort of background nonsensical part of your brain that you already dismissed, that the desert itself is focusing on living things coming through here. That there might be a will that supersedes this all, some sort of central. But the point is like there's something that must be focusing it on you.
I asked Myriad if he remembers any of these battles.
We were protectors. This does not seem like protection.
Well, yeah. I'm sure their leaders would disagree, but
our duty was sacred and most secret. We totally had to carry like a single grain of sand from like all over the places.
Well, I mean, we can just keep going and see what happens. If it's following us, I mean, we can try to make better time. Unless we have a way to look like shrubs. Anybody got a way to disguise us so we look like shrubs?
Myriad like grabs like a bundle of bushes and just like puts them in, like stuffs them into like the back of your cowl and robes.
That's pretty good. It's not bad.
Can I survival for this one?
You may.
Full camo party. 4. Well, 4 4s.
4 4s. Ooh.
Nice.
No, it's not bad.
Yahtzee.
Okay. So you like camo the party to look like desert shrubbery and stuff? Like tumbleweeds.
Yeah. I'm like a gigantic cactus.
A cactus,
Amazing.
if you may. All right. You know, like
Amazing.
Shaq, the NBA player, who's like
yeah,
super big. Okay.
We got you.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that, the night passes, you travel some more. It's becoming obvious that this journey is dragging. You've got some like rations to make it through, but if you don't find something soon, this could become a problem. So I'm gonna have you roll a survival now to sort of like navigate, and I'm actually going to go ahead and like down that. I'm gonna drop that D down to a 3 because your previous night you were, you know, foraging well and so on and so forth. So you probably had some like extra water along the way while you dug up some plants and stuff. So
Yeah, this cactus I'm wearing, I hollowed it out for a drink.
he ate like 3 other cactuses, which is what you don't know about.
They come with toothpicks. It's so convenient. 4.
Yeah, if all else fails, we will eat the squig.
Oh, what was that?
If all else fails, we'll eat the squig.
Right on. Yeah. No, it's like a cheeseburger. It's just.
I've been feeding it just nonstop, noxious, spiciest brew as well, so it would be very delicious.
It's just marinating.
It's like the super like dry age marinade, like just for like. All right. How many successes did you get?
4.
Ooh, again.
I'm good at survival. I'm a hunter.
One moment. I'm sorry, everybody.
I'm pretty used to almost starving to death. It's not that different. That's pretty
Same.
much our normal way of life.
Same.
You're consuming like the amount an elephant eats in a day, and like I'm so close to starvation.
Yeah, the struggle is real.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You managed to like find some some stuff to sort of like refill the packs, and in your case, there's like actually just like a baby magma droth. You like catch. Oh wait.
I was gonna say, can we find a magma drop? That's literally what I was gonna go for.
I am not okay with this.
So you're wrangling a baby magma droth out of this like sort of steam, this steam pit, and Fyrgrim witnesses this.
Nope. I pat my other baby magma droth that sits on my shoulder at all times. Not happening.
He's already like, this is dinner though. This helps us survive more.
But these ones are spicy.
There's other food.
We gotta find your non-sacred animal. Is that what you're saying?
Yep. That's what I'm saying.
What, like, do you have some kind of special relationship with all of these creatures?
You can find something else.
But it's old and diseased. It's slowing down the herd. Things like 2 years old.
It's probably got a broken leg. It's not gonna survive much longer.
Oh, I'm not gonna pull a cop with the tail light, like kick its knee in. Oh, it's got a busted up knee. It probably wouldn't survive in the wild. This would be a mercy. A delicious, spicy mercy.
Fine, we'll find something else.
All right.
Good idea.
I hunt for a different animal, but I actually hunt for an animal. And I gain advantage on opposed checks to track, find, trap, or hunt creatures.
So I gave you a bonus from before to drop it down to 3. This will be 2s.
All right, and I got some focus here, so we're not even failing on 1s. All right, yeah, 5. However, oh yeah, so I have focus, so I wasn't even failing on 1s. I got 5, and I was looking for something bigger than a magmadroth, if at all possible.
Okay, so my new decanter, by the way, everybody.
A crystal skull from the crazy ghost.
Get some Suntory whiskey all up in here for me. This is how spicy this is about to be. So, uh, like I said, the rations are to a point where you don't want to be relying on rations right now. You're sort of like at that halfway point through the desert. You need to restock. You are an ogre. Your appetite is voracious. And you've tracked. You pull this like magma broth out of this like steam pit, and you're thinking you're about to eat it, and you get interrupted, and you're like, and just like against everything because you know it would have been so spicy, so delicious. It would have been like, it would have been the like the tamale or like elote from like the absolute best food stand you've ever been to, ever, and you just let it go, and you're just regretting it, and you just like kind of like saunter off, and the party sort of like lags behind making camp. And you actually
it's like when you go on vacation, you find a good restaurant, and you just remember it for later. Coming back here.
And you sort of like wander off through like these little sort of like steam pits, and you catch some sort of like crags and like a mesa, and you wind round one, and then you see it. The volcano fant. It's like an elephant made out of volcanoes in the distance.
Oh, the opposite of a thunder tusk.
It's yeah.
Must have a good force roll.
Yeah, so if there was like the Galapagos Islands, there's like the thunder tusks evolved on like the ice ones. This one evolved on the volcano Galapagos.
Yeah, everything changed.
The Madagascar of tundras, yeah.
What did you say, Vince?
I said everything changed when the volcano fence attacked.
I don't know. Volcano fence seem young.
No, this one's quite huge, and it could totally underneath that sort of like craggy, rocky exterior. It's got like super juicy, delicious meats. Like it makes a really good barbecue. You think Korean spice? Sorry,
barbecue. Yeah.
Sorry, Axian barbecue. Like it'd be really good.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, it's already barbecued, and I'm still camouflaged. So we're straight up. We're full big game hunter on this thing.
All right, cut to next scene. You're dragging it back by one of its tusks to the to the camp. It is the size of a thunder tusk, comparatively speaking. It's got the sort of like craggy volcano on its back, and you can bust through its like hide, rhinoceros style hide, and like get to its its stuff, and you like grill the flank steak on its own volcano back, and you can feed the party easily, as well as yourself. If you eat the whole thing, you're just like, this is a good meal.
Yeah, I feel I feed the squigs some of just the lava part. Gotta toughen them up.
Trivial...
Out of game, it's fine if he dies, so that Bigwinter learns a lesson, but he thinks everyone is kind of like him.
No, this is working so far.
It's like in a bathtub, right? You slowly turn the water hotter, right? You get used to it, and then you're just chilling in lava, and you're fine.
Fyrgrim, you're detecting some Urgold thar in that volcano back, and you also have an understanding that if you sort of collect some of its magma blood, it can be used in some components.
I will do so.
So, I'm not even gonna make you roll because I made up a random monster on the spot, and it just seems like it should have sweet properties.
Nice.
Look. I love you, Cubicle 7, but this is what happens when I need to fill an entire plane of existence with stuff.
Yeah, check fine. Out.
It occurs to me as I'm eating this creature and drinking its lava blood, that this is really the no pun intended, polar opposite of Thunder Tusk. It's possible I could have tamed this thing and ridden it, even though
I'm surprised there's not a tribe of your people who have tamed these. And like, if they did, they would focus on barbecues, and maybe they would maybe they would have a whole different sort of aesthetic. You know, more of like a hot weather type of people. Yeah,
Grass skirts.
Yeah, sure, something that's lightweight.
Yeah, like rather than like
that's a good idea.
like
I
a
heard about
Mongolian
one
aesthetic, maybe a
wizard-
Samoan. And
Yeah,
like
I
a
heard about
whole-
one wizard with a pretty cool sculpt that was going to do that, but in God's unfinished creatures, he never got around to it.
Mm.
You know, the gods only made one, and they stopped.
It's a shame that you. It's a shame that you all are more cold weather folk.
Just like if I were editing this, it'd just be like fourth wall just flashing over the screen the whole time. Idea, hobby, army idea. All right, I'm back. We're back. Yeah. So you find this critter, and you make camp for the evening.
Camo up.
The party's camoed.
It was so delicious, but Bigwinter is so sad. Because he was so hungry that he killed and started eating it before he realized he could have tried to tame it.
I could probably find another one.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah, if we can find another one, we should actually, and you tame it, then that would be even better. We could ride him across the plain, and maybe like at night we could just have it curl up into a ball or something, and we just sit in the middle of it. Nobody's gonna think this is like an invader or whatever the ghosts are all about killing.
It's better if they're little. I didn't make a mistake. It's better if they're little.
Oh, sure, yeah, you gotta raise it from when it's small. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not tame. Yeah, sure, I can see that.
Also, every time you fail to tame it, dinner. No downside.
It's a win-win.
And then he just sleeps like a fucking baby. Looks so content. He knows his path forward. All is right in his life.
Fyrgrim, since you're here.
Yes.
You sleep restlessly this evening. You keep having flashes of a tower in your dreams. You wake up middle of the night. You just look around. You know, like slug some water from your water skin. Curl back up. You know, in front of the deserts get super cold at night. Curl back. You know, throw a log back on where you have your little fire going and stuff. Even though you're you're giving yourself some extra warmth too, but you're being considerate of the party. And then like you get another flash of this same tower, but like every time you sort of fall back asleep, it's just like the stress dreams that won't quit. You see it sort of like mutate, which is a strange word to apply to architecture, but you keep seeing it sort of change, even taking on these like sort of like weird organic qualities, like replacing the what was once marble and ivory and gold with veiny and fleshy and just macabre stuff. And you just get this, you don't know why you keep seeing this tower, but you just, and every time, and you just wake back up. There's something it's just horrifying. It's just in you, and you go fall back asleep, and you just keep seeing it, and you can't sleep tonight.
I don't sleep well.
It's true. So you have this tower in your mind that just you're remembering Island, like the last sort of like sentence, like we're gonna stick it to Archeon or something like that, and then you keep seeing this tower. The next day is super peaceful, like everything's awesome. No, like
that really changed fast.
Yeah, no, nothing at all. Bigwinter, do you wish to pursue another volcano tusk?
Oh yeah.
Sorry, we opened up a tangent mid-adventure. You gotta lean in. Go on.
Gotta
Oh
lean
yeah,
into it.
100%.
Yeah.
I'll even lead us slightly out of the way to do so.
Okay. Yeah,
I'm so content.
just roll it. You're on 3s instead of 4s on account of your stuff. Your camouflage is still holding, but you don't have the advantage of it from recently, acclimating to the environment. A Volcatusk. There we go. A Volcatusk. That's way cool.
The big 5.
Okay.
Easy.
No. You actually end up on like tracks of a herd. Like they're going through and they're like totally like nomming on like cacti and like rocks for like the mesas and stuff like that, and like the like weird sort of like plateaus like tumble and they like nosh them and stuff, and the plateaus are made of like iron and blood and rocks because it's a super metal desert. And so basically they just like consume heavy metal album covers for like a whole day, and you're onto them for like a day. And finally,
I'm paying attention. I'm seeing what their diet is and how they act. I'm learning.
And
names.
like you catch there's like a tiny one, you can see it over there, and it's like lightly nomming what looks like a pitchfork coming out of the sands of like bones from like a god beast like fingertip.
All right. You opened up my inventory here. All right. I got arrows apparently because I was planning on sending Laanissa messages, but she's gone, so I'm sneaking up on it and like breaking off arrowheads and throwing them and like leading it like breadcrumbs over to me away from the herd while staying hidden.
No, like it like finishes eating like a literal like a biblical pickfork type thing, like from a metal album cover. Like it should be on Dio, like a Dio album art, and just like nom nom nom, and like looks over and sees like this fucking like gnarled arrowhead in the desert, and like walks over and like noms it like a Cheeto, and just like it ooh, a piece of candy, ooh, a piece of candy, like just the whole way, and just like walks up in front of like your little like, you look like a rock, you know. You're so well camouflaged, like a boulder just sunken in the sand. It's right there.
All right, and then the last one is an arrowhead in my hand.
Ooh, we're gonna go the other different direction. I thought we were gonna go for ambush, so we're gonna go with beast handling. Soul.
Beast handling.
I like that chat gang thought you were gonna bonk it, and I thought you were gonna bonk it too, and you went a different direction. So
No, it will learn of my fury based on what I do to others.
Lead by example.
The examples, that's the example of the power. Not, wait, am I on 4s here?
for beast handling, yes.
All right. In which case, just 4.
Just 4, he says. It noshes it out your hand, and like it even like nips your hand a little bit, like but like not aggressively. It just like the jowls come in, and like you get a little jab from the tusk on your forearm, and then like looks up at you expectantly. I saw your body move, but what was that?
We started leading it away.
Oh, so you like have like another like arrow or something?
Yeah, I don't have written down how many arrows I have, but if I run out, let me know. I'm not like continuously feeding it. This was just to get it this far.
Yeah, you produce another arrowhead after like it looks at you expectantly, and like it just like you take a step away and it follows you a little bit.
Yeah, and then like back to it, start walking, do the pat your thigh kind of thing. Like, here we go.
Yeah, it seems to follow you. It just like wants a treat each time, and it's like suddenly you're several paces away from its family. It looks back. It looks at you expectantly.
Like pull out the huge pike and I suppose I only have the chain for it so far.
You have
And
it.
do some, what was that?
Nothing. I'm saying nothing.
I guess this wouldn't work. I was gonna put the chain as like a collar, but it eats metal, so that's a problem. Anyway, I'm not sure what to do to get a wild creature to follow you away from its tribe, but I try to do that via the beast handling skill.
All right, we'll do an extended test. So it's gonna. I have a amount of successes you need to meet. I'm gonna determine them pseudo randomly. So I have an amount of successes you need to meet over 3 beast handling checks. If you succeed, if you beat the number, it'll follow you permanently. Okay. Got it. I hit the die, but I know what the number was. That's the number. 12-sided or 16-sided dice are weird. These are the worst sided dice.
My backup idea was having the squig fake attack it, and then I defend it. But then, like, it's going to realize that the squig thing is just sticking around, and that would be awkward. And then I'm like, well, I could let it eat it, because I've been eating this thing plenty of spice, and so it'd probably help the Volcatux, around. Climb the ladder, Gotta replace the current with the better.
I will give somebody $10 from my PayPal account if they draw. We'll do like a Volcatux drawing art contest, and I will pay the winner $10.
Currently, it's a Volcatux.
Yeah, it's a
when
Volcatux.
It's medium-sized, it's a Volcatusk, and when it's big, it's a Volcatruck.
Ooh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so I will give somebody $10 for my PayPal monies, which is what I earn off of Twitch. So draw. I want to see this thing drawn. Is all I'm saying. So yeah, I've got a target number here. You got to do 3 of your beast handling soul checks. You need to beat this. You need to tie or beat this number.
3 only.
Okay.
3.
Mm-hmm.
3.
Target number was 9. You got a dog. 16-sided dice are weird. It's like what a horrible die. But hey, Blood Bowl uses them. I have one.
Oh, is that? I was about to ask what that's even from.
Blood Bowl. It's a scatter. It's their it's their like level up die, and it does weird stuff. Weird specific stuff. Kicker, time to get a pencil. Like one person draws because like only like 3 people watch the show, and only one cares to draw.
Yeah, like 8 people. We got 8 people watching right now. Hi, 8 people.
Yeah, how's it going?
Almost triple.
How's it going, checking? Yeah. So, no, that's canon. Drawing contest. I'll give you $10 if you win it. I want to see what this thing looks like.
There you go. So did he get it?
Yeah. No. Like it's I mean it's still a like it's like breaking a horse. Like it's still a wild creature.
Yeah, I'll be doing beast handling. I'm not sure how to do this in real life.
But it's beholden to you. It obeys your commands to an extent as long as you don't treat it like shit, and like it and your stuff aligns, and then you just gradually make sure that what your stuff is aligning with is in line with not being a terrible handler. That being said, it's already like the size of a pony. Like it's the baby version is
nice. Oh, it's gonna be amazing. Lava elephant.
Like it's like bigger than like a Vespa. It's just already like that's the baby, that's the cub.
All right. As we're traveling, I suppose there's just metal kind of sticking out of the ground. Then, if they were eating stuff like that, So I'll pay more attention to metal and start harvesting that as well as that for food.
It likes metals and it likes metal and rock a lot. But you haven't unlocked the full
Shit eats
understanding.
rocks so easy. What a pet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's but like Rock Eater from Neverending Story, it's got a preference. All right. Yeah, you do that. You end up on another night. So normally you get a quiet moment in narrative, and now I gotta hit you with the conflict. So you go to night. Skig, yes, you can't be surprised. Fyrgrim, you don't get like super cold. You just throw a log on the fire again for like the rest of the people, and you don't have this like same unsettling dream as before. Beyond your own basic anxiety, I'd imagine the character's building up from like having your memories clashing and stuff. And Bigwinter is like cuddling. I don't know if Bigwinter cuddles. Does Bigwinter cuddle?
He's Big Spoon.
So Bigwinter is big spooning his new pet.
Amazing.
Yeah, chat. That's a tough question because if you make it out of metal, it'll eat it. But if you make it out of wood, it's gonna light the card on fire. So I don't know. Catch-22.
The temperature, the
Glass maybe.
Aether wood.
Yeah.
Aether
Wood. There you go.
Makes sense.
Realm wood.
Mm-hmm.
So, the evening kicks off as per you've gotten used to the sort of sounds of distant battle and the sort of these ghost noises right on the horizons. But then something happens that you haven't quite experienced yet. The temperature drastically drops. You can see your breath, and the whole party is shocked awake with the sudden cold.
Okay.
The battle wages around you, but almost in slow motion. Ghosts taking note of the party as you've become accustomed to in the last 2 nights, but like utterly frozen in their sort of grim terror. As you see this sort of entity, humanoid, that is just ever bigger than the creatures it's around.
Okay.
It is, again, completely humanoid, 2 arms, 2 legs, but its body is this sort of like exaggeration of human flesh and anatomy. Extra musculature, extra like its abdomen. It's just this exaggerated form, as only Michelangelo in a fever dream on extra super steroids from the future could have like sculpted for David. Like just this complete weird.
It's a One Piece villain.
It goes beyond. It steps beyond like understanding it into the uncanny valley of just like this weirdness, and it is ever bigger than whomever it is near in the battlefield. But it always sort of seems to like maintain this size regardless of where it is on the field. It's pale, it's pallid. Its face, whilst having the sort of visage of a face, remains lidless. You can make out a nose and a mouth and stuff like that, but almost like a mask. It's just pristine, solid, unmoving. And behind it sprawls this red, sort of unnatural cape. You don't see it tied on it. You just notice it behind it forever. As this character walks, and by walks I mean sort of like skips through time, you can notice these sort of like arms reaching up through the cape and then receding as if trapped beneath the sprawl. It's gripping and reaching towards these ghosts, and as the cape moves, the arms are just not left behind in its wake. You see, but you don't see the sea of limbs, just the ground. And Myriad, for the first time in the journey, stands up, and between you and it.
You know what that thing is?
Be quiet, it speaks.
I have no idea.
Whispers.
Okay. Do you know what that thing is?
It's immediately before the party. It's cape behind it, sprawling out endlessly, and you can see the limbs sort of like reaching up, down, and then receding, and then it unfurling. Myriad slowly moves towards their belt, pulls out a vial, and offers it forward. Its hand is already around the vial, and it's gone.
So is it like a soul collector?
Once it sort of like disappears off the visual plane. It hunts. We are imperfect.
Yeah.
Myriad looks at like where it is, or where it was. The next time, we may not offer it enough. And the entire battle is gone. It's collected the whole.
Okay. Well, you don't have to be giving it your vials. If it shows up again and it won't leave, then we destroy it.
You cannot destroy nothing.
I don't know what you just said.
It's a double negative.
So we can destroy it?
You cannot destroy nothing.
Oh,
Okay.
what's its name?
Myriad's had a whimsy about them for a while. The whimsy's gone.
So do you know what this thing is? You've seen one before?
We are imperfect. And Myriad gestures towards it. Nothing is.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Nothing is perfect.
I'm following now. I got it. Okay.
We harvest for Nagash. Sometimes we fail. Nothing does not.
I see. Does he also work for your boss? Or is he more of like an independent agent?
Nagash has tapped untold powers that existed in these realms since before the before times. Many of them he controls. Some of them he does not. And he just like sort of like looks.
Yeah, good enough. All right, so how do we avoid the thing?
I'll help. Or we'll help.
Okay.
We must. We're calling it.
Oh, you are by accident. Or all of us.
You mean we, the you, we, or we, the... Which we?
We.
Okay. How are we calling it?
The rift.
What rift?
You're incomplete. Like we are.
Oh, you're saying because Laanissa's not here?
Great power. Pulled apart.
Oh, the Soulbound. Hmm.
Well,
So
not much we can do about that.
one vial worked this time. How many vials next time?
How many vials do you have, and can you make more?
We do not believe you would enjoy how we create more.
Eh. You'd be surprised.
I don't find a bad enough thing.
Yeah. But anyway,
I mean,
look,
I
the
eat
point
meat
is
for my victims.
that we can't just buy him off. So how do we avoid him?
We will try
Okay.
to hide us.
Yeah, can you make us look like we're dead or something?
Like, Mira's just, like, nodding.
Okay. That seems like the right answer.
I look at my growing cavalcade of creatures that are following me.
Yeah, but they probably don't have souls.
Like, Myriad begins to, like, chant and weave necromantic magics, and you can see, the amethyst swirls about and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And this sort of pitch field surrounds the party. We will not be of much help, friends.
You mean in this situation or while you're doing that?
This takes all of us.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry. We'll keep
I
you
need
safe.
a lot of help though, so
Nothing takes all next time.
Okay, well, let's avoid next time. Look, most of my stuff is more the opposite direction. So, you know.
Sounds like a villain from Bleach. Sweet. You're welcome. I don't know what that weeb shit is.
I actually don't know if dogs and stuff have souls in the mortal realms. What denomination is the mortal realms? Do just people have souls?
Right.
Yeah.
Do kids in Anvilgard watch All Dogs Go to Heaven?
Rocco, you still there, yo boy? Cause, all right. The party you continue to traverse the desert.
Oh man, you're really bringing Rocco in here just for us to sacrifice him to nothing? That's thoughtful.
No, I'm not pulling him in here. No, he doesn't need to come in here. I'm like just saying, pay attention, buddy. This is your. It's not your cue, but this is marker. The party heads on. The battle has again begun to focus towards the party, but on this next night, or you've begun to notice that the deserts themselves have started to have the edifices of sort of like fallen beasts and fallen civilizations. You can see like a tower like out of the sand, like it has finally started to have form, whereas before it's just been like a desert, and you can actually start to see the remnants of whatever happened in ages past. You can see like a jutting arm here of a god beast like reaching out. You walk another hour, you can see like a tower crippled and gnarled. You walk more and you see weird cog-like debris and like plates that have been like clearly sculpted by man or dwarf or elf into a shape, and just like all these things, and suddenly it becomes this sort of like menagerie of like architecture. And then you hear this churning, revving noise off to the side, and you see this like huge sort of like spindly crab-like limb come up over the horizon, and you see it plunge into the desert, and you see what I can only describe as a mobile fortress.
Like a cog fort?
Like a cog fort in the desert. And
Good. Well, we'll get a ride.
And we'll call it there.
Oh, good. Because I was trying to think if I could cook up some food that lowered everyone's heart rate so they'd seem more dead or something, like hibernating frogs or whatever. I'm glad we have an alternative to that kind of reaching. Sweet.
Cool. Good stuff. Well, we'll meet the mystery person who's in the cog fort next time we get together.
Yeah.
Boy, I hope they're
Wink,
voiced
wink.
by I hope they have a great voice actor.
Yeah, like they've been practicing their voice acting for 3 solid months because they were going to join us back in like December or whatever. So they've just been like practicing their voice acting this whole time, just waiting for a thing. And Chuck, buddy, we're gonna have a solo. So I'm gonna have a solo adventure with Laanissa, to sort of like hammer the gap between what happens with Anvil Guard, because I want that to be part of the story, because I think it's a really cool feature of like what the party did, and then you have a little bit of a push pull thing, and then Laanissa has, as per kind of Chuck's design, a character conflict that I didn't want to tie to the meta plot, but it was just like so juicy to not, so I did. So we'll probably play that out on like a Sunday, and so we'll get a bonus episode to make up for one of these. I'm going into my layoff season, so I will be laid off for an entire month, and I hope we can just bang out 4 straight episodes of Soulbound for everybody. And shit's about to get real, which is realer than real because you misspell it to be real. Real. That's right.
Real.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for joining us. I'm glad you met the Nothing, which is something I wrote a little while ago. I'm like, what's a god beast of death like?
Sure.
Yeah. That was the premise.
What's the most brutal present ever? Nothing.
Nothing. Right? Yeah. Someone's seen Metalocalypse. So they met the Nothing, and I've had like no less than 2 Never-Ending Story references tonight. 3, I think. And the Nothing's one of them. So, hey, if you were
It wasn't a big giant wolf, though. I guess the wolf wasn't actually the Nothing. It was just the herald of the Nothing.
That's right. Yeah.
Herald
Ooh, spicy. I can't slip one past you, Vince, can I? With all my references and stuff. Yeah. Okay. Tom, thanks for joining us.
Sorry about being late.
No, you scooped. No, never apologize for family.
You're basically asleep. You showed up. It's all good. Yeah.
I'm super pleased with how well you jumped in. That was some professional shit, man. That was great. And checking, of course, you're the show within the show. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Yeah, Cog Fort in the desert of fucking Eternal Wars and a god beast death thing. So
yeah, and I gotta find some growth hormones for this Volcatux.
Volcatux. Oh yeah, drawing contest for the Volcatrucks. So Heywoah has outlined it's got 3 evolutionary stages like a fucking Pokemon.
I didn't mean to imply that.
Pokemon's
actually shit.
Do with it what you will. I will close the contest at the end of February, and I'll do I've got $10 in my PayPal account. I'll send to somebody whomever.
This isn't actually Rantcast, but it is the Mephisto stream. So
I do what I want, man. I do what I want.
So Pokemon is trash and the art is shit.